So, I've got a proposal for you. How will I save your Thursdays? Well, technically, Lilith and my Thursdays, but it's not all about me. After all, I'm relaxed. This is all going to be over soon. But I tell you, if we do this, life will get a lot easier. How so, you ask? Well, this is what I have to say. The refresher course is supposed to be at FOC as we approach the EOY of this FY. Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, we're going to have 2 webinars a day per instructor team. That's 4 webinars a day, 3 days a week. Thursdays at FOC will be spent, instead of preparing for our intense Friday session, almost half of the day will be spent preparing our new students for the next week via the I&O sessions for 2 instructional teams, 2 webinars a day. That's a lot of time added to the schedule. They're not difficult, but they are time consuming. I&Os are pretty much filled with basic information, especially for experienced students. Students who are only needing a refresher on our platforms, do they really need an hour to an hour and a half? Well, that's a great question. What about those students who don't know what they're doing? How are we going to get them through this challenge? We have an old workforce after all. The fact is that spending 3 hours a day every Thursday without counting for the half-hour lead-in to each webinar is a long time. You add those lead-ins, and now we're up to 4 hours per instructional team. 2 teams, 8 hours. We lose an entire man day doing I&Os live for our students for the refresher course. This is going to detract from us preparing for Friday. It's going to detract from our attention we can give our current students as we prepare for our new students. It reduces student and class-specific engagement by us, pulling us back away from our students at a critical juncture in their class. It generalizes delivery. And though I realize we have to have some sterilization of our presentation in order to survive 40 weeks of the class at FOC, how much generalization is too much? What do we lose when we sterilize our delivery too much? It reduces targeted learning. It reduces those call-outs. It reduces the impact that we can have on individual students. Why would we do that when we can actually change it? We have the staff who possess the tools and the growing know-how to avoid this. As we become more efficient, we become more effective. Packaging I&O sessions like this, in this mechanism, we can deliver orientation training that's unique to each class, show specific areas, those historical trip-up points for our students, targeted to our students with our verbiage and our personalities, and we can still deliver standard packages that can be easily supplemented by additional means. Whether it's a video, for example, Omar's video that I threw in there, or podcast bits in here. These can all be implemented. These can all be included, and plus all sorts of other things that I haven't learned yet. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We're launching this year, obviously. We could do this for our FOC if we dedicate the time now. We could build a structured I&O recorded session that could be viewed by all of our students at any time, and it won't have to be live, saving ourselves 8 man-hours 1 day per week. 8 times 40 weeks. That's a lot of manpower we're saving by implementing this. And of course, if there's potential in this, and you see the promise in it, we can implement this across our course offerings. Who knows what else we have out there? So how do we accomplish this? This is your pre-test to the final exam you're going to see here in a second. Is it A, a hope and a prayer? B, shelling out millions for other contractors to fill the need? C, developing from within using the talent and the tools we have? Or D, closing our eyes and making it all go away? I think you know the answer to the question. That's right. So, I only have one more question for you before I kick you over to the video. When do we start? You can see here, one of the capabilities of this tool is that we can still orient our students to the DCO platform even if we're not in DCO, through recording older sessions or in any of the upcoming sessions that we're going to have for the supervisor refresher course. Obviously, they won't be able to have the interpersonal exchange with us that they would typically have in an I&O session. But what this video does is supplement that longer I&O session for when the supervisory refresher course is at FOC. By using this medium, this tool, we can deliver the critical orientation information about the course and the two platforms to the students, and then supplement it in a more personal way, whether through teleconferences, email exchanges, or maybe even keeping 2 webinars per day on a Thursday when we're readying for that Friday closing session. However, scaling that down significantly since we've cut out all of the course information and platform navigation information that we share with them typically in an I&O session. Using this platform to deliver the I&O information, we can get it to the students earlier, give them time to play around with it, to orient themselves to the not only Blackboard but also DCO, even if they're not able to get in there. And maybe we could supplement this with a one middle of the day webinar where everybody gets together. Or maybe it's 2. Either way, they'd be significantly shorter than what we right now are currently doing. At FOC, if we continue this way, we're going to have 4 staff members in 2 webinars every single Thursday at an hour to an hour and a half. So we'll have anywhere from 1 to 1.5 hours per instructor. That's anywhere from 2 to 3 hours per team, 4 to 6 hours each Thursday in aggregate man hours to host traditional I&O sessions. This could significantly cut that down to under an hour. When we're preparing for those Friday webinars at FOC for the refresher course, delivering our sessions through this tool might be the practical way ahead. Now, what was this intelligent guy on the webcam saying?